Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be clearancing the front charcoal canister on my Toyota 4runner. Alright you guys, we're at the front of the vehicle and you can see there is a charcoal canister right there in the middle of the frame. And what we're going to do is try to move that up a little bit because it might actually hit the tire when the tire is fully compressed. Now I don't think it actually hits on my vehicle, but on some of your guys's it may get in the way, especially if you have wider tires and you have, some strange offset. So what we're going to do is try to move that up as high as possible without doing too much work. So these are some of the tools I'm going to be using. I got a step bit here that I'm going to be using to drill out the hole, and I'm going to be using this nut insert that basically reuses the existing bolt that's already in there. I've got a 10mm socket to remove the existing bolt, and then obviously I have the rivet tool that I need to crush this rivet. Now you don't need to use this, you can use a nut on the other side and I'll show you where it goes through. So if you don't have a riv nut tool, you can just put a nut on the other side. Alright, so the plan is to remove this bolt right here and then relocate it up here. But one thing you'll notice is that hole is too small for this riv nut. And if you are using just another bolt on the other side, you actually can just use it as is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out that hole a little bit so I can fit this nutsert in there. And then hopefully I can crush it in there, and then I can put the old bolt and kind of bend the bracket up and use that hole instead. All right, let's get to it. All right, first thing we're going to do is take off the old bolt just to confirm the pitch on that nutsert. And that's the wrong way. So here's what the old bolt looks like. And you can see it does thread into this one. So it is an M8. Let me go ahead and just remove the charcoal canister out of the way. I think I can put it on the tire here. All right. So I'm just gonna leave it hanging there for a second and I'm gonna drill out this hole. Now you want to keep checking as you drill. That way you don't go too big. Okay, that looks like it's the right size. And it is. So let me see if I can clean that hole up a little bit. Alright guys, we got that hole cleaned up and we're going to put the riv nut tool in there now and crush the riv nut, and hopefully we'll be able to relocate the bracket. Alright, we got the tool all set up. We're going to go in there and see if we can fit it in here. Alright, let's see if we can get it out. Alright you guys, we got that riv nut in there and it's nice and tight now, as you can see. And we're gonna go ahead and bend the bracket and get it up there. Alright guys, I wanted to cut in real quick and show you guys, if you didn't have a riv nut tool, you can get to that backside and it's right here under the battery. So here's the battery and you can see my riv nut sticking out right there. Let me zoom in for you guys. See right there? So that's where you would put your nut and tighten it up. Alright guys, I went ahead and took the charcoal canister out. And I'm gonna see if I can bend it from out here. It's a little hard from in there. So this bracket needs to go up about an inch or so. So I got some pliers here and hopefully I'm gonna be able to bend this thing the way I want it to go without breaking it.
A few moments later.
All right, you guys, after messing around with this bracket for a while, I finally got it to what it needed to be. So you can see here, hopefully I had to bend it pretty far back. Made a little crack right there. Should be okay. It's a light canister. And then just finagle this thing until it lined up with the two bolts. So before this was kind of like straight. So you can see it's kind of up now. And then I had to bend this a little bit. This side, I did a little bit, but not too much. And then inside the fender, you can also bend this little sheet metal that attaches to this one right here. back a little bit so it'll fit. So let's go ahead and get it back in there and finish up the mod. All right, let's go ahead and get this mounted now. Let's get that in there. All right, let's get the second bolt on. All right, let's tighten it up. All right, let's get this plugged back in. All right, we're all done. And you can see it's still pretty secure even though the bracket's broken a little bit. This should be plenty fine. All right, guys, there's the final product. So you can see we moved the bracket from there to there and lift this entire side up a little bit, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the clearance world, even a 1/4 inch is a lot. All right, you guys, we're all done. Pretty simple mod other than bending that bracket and being a little tedious, but it shouldn't have cost you very much. If you have a riv nut tool, it's pretty easy. If you didn't, just find yourself a nut and maybe a lock nut back there and just tighten it up. And now you should have a little bit more clearance for these big old tires. So hopefully you found the video helpful. If you did, hit that like button. If you like videos like this, I got more mods coming. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you guys have any questions about anything or any of the tools I use, I'm gonna leave them in the links for you guys. Have a nice day.